Hi everybody, I'm back. I just got done doing what they call a Dutch pour, puddle pour, fluid pour with a blow dryer, and now I'm going to do a dip. I put my white down on my puppy pad and I mapped out where I need my paint to be for my 6x6 3D wrap canvas, which I've already tightened up, sprayed it with a little water, let it dry. So now I've got my white down. I did some dioxazine purple, and I'm going to do some magenta. I think I'm going to do a little bit of simply acrylic deep yellow. And I think I'm going to do maybe a little bit of jack-o'-lantern orange. That's what it's called. And this one is actually by Apple Barrel. So I'm not using any specialty paints or anything. I do have my paints mixed with Floetrol, and some of them have silicone in there. I think that deep yellow had silicone. None of these other ones do. So I'll be curious to see what that does. And I might add just a touch of metallic gold in there just to see what happens. And I believe this metallic gold also does have some silicone in the paint. And the silicone that I have mixed in these paints, I use different kinds depending on what I'm doing, but in these particular paints, it's the OGX Coconut Milk Hair Anti-Breakage Serum. You can find that at Walmart. I was looking for it forever. It was at the very, very bottom of the shelf in the hair section, so it was kind of hidden, but that's where I found it. I think I'll do another little hint of purple on top of that. Maybe a little bit more magenta. Okay, so my canvas is dry for this particular dip. I'll paint my sides after the fact. I watched someone else do one with a dry canvas earlier. I've done them with wet canvases before. Sometimes if you don't have enough paint though, it pulls away and then you're trying to touch up around your composition. And I found that to not be so great. So we're gonna see what we get here. I do have a line on my puppy pad that I'm not a fan of. I should have thought of that ahead of time before I put my paint where I did. I should have done it in a square that didn't have a seam. But I'm just gonna lay it down in here. Well, this time I can actually kind of see the paint through the canvas because of that dark purple. So I'm just going to kind of press the paint onto the canvas gently. Curious to see what we get when we pull it up. I found these dips to be absolutely beautiful. And depending on which way you pull your canvas up, kind of, it drags your composition one way or another, side to side, because when you're pulling up, the paint is coming away in the line that you're pulling up. So I like to try and pull up straight on my first one to see what happens, but if not, because you don't want the pad coming with you, you can go from one side to another and just lift it off. I'm going to try to just go straight up and see what we get here. Hold the puppy pad down with my hands somewhat. It's pretty, it's neat. Not as much as I was expecting, maybe. I thought my composition would be maybe a little bit bigger. I got some selling going up. It's doing some stuff already. and a lot of bubbles that I see that I'm going to need to pop. I'm wondering if I want to dip it one more time. Turn the other way. Yeah, let's dip it one more time, turn the other direction and see what happens. I'd like that composition to be bigger and bolder. I think I'm gonna pull up in a different direction, actually, even. Ooh. Pretty. That's really pretty. So I'm going to take my heat gun to that and see what happens with the cells and to pop the bubbles. Looks like I might have a little spot of a dry canvas there in the center. Let's see what I can do to maybe blow that or something to get that covered. I have to turn it. Go back the other direction. All right, I'm going to fill in my sides, and I will try to come back and show you what it looks like when it's dry. This is the dried dip. So it is the next morning. Get in there and see nice and close up the lacing, the cells. I think it looks like a flower. I think that turned out beautiful. And it dried really cool on my pad. I can use that as a skin. Pretty. So that's the final result. Pretty cool. I love this technique. I hope I've inspired you. Take care.